Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 and this is going to be a vlog video, a hunting vlog video. I haven't hunted in several years. Pretty much, I think it was like my first or second year of college where I got pushed off my lease. And that's been a long time ago. And I've been watching hunting videos on TV, been watching hunting videos on the internet, and I just miss it. I really miss it. Um, and I enjoy the outdoors. I can't backpack anymore. Can't really camp anymore. The only thing I can really do at this point is saltwater fish and crab. I go to the coast and saltwater fish. Me and my buddy, we've been crabbing and pretty successful at crabbing, and that's like my only real experience. Oh, that's the only real activity I get to experience in the outdoors. Um, so I really miss hunting, and I found a couple of hunting, or a couple of guns that I'd like to buy for hunting. I probably won't buy both of them. It'll probably be forever before I can afford to buy one of them. Not forever, but it'll be a few years before I can save up to buy one of these guns for hunting. But yeah, they're kind of obscure, kind of not really prominent in the hunting community. They're just a little bit different, but I like them. And even if I can't hunt in the near future, I'd like to get one of these guns and just blow stuff up with them and shoot them and stuff. But that being said, if I hunt, I'll probably have to hunt national forest because I don't think I can afford a private hunting lease. That cost anywhere from $1,000 up just for that year's membership, and then you have to buy everything else that goes with hunting. Um, I thought about going to the national forest, and I have some complaints about the national forest. One, you have to wear orange. I don't know if I can get away with just wearing an orange cap, or if I can wear the orange vest and get in my spot and take it off and then hunt. They say that deer can't see orange, but this is my point of view of it. If I'm wearing an orange vest and I get in a bush or shrub or under a tree, that deer can perceive that there's this gray block in this background of leaves. So I feel even though they can't perceive the color orange, they can perceive the different shade of color and the fact that it has no pattern in it. So I just don't feel very concealed with a orange vest. Now maybe with just an orange hat, I'd feel okay with that. But if I have to wear a significant amount of orange, I probably have to get a pop-up blind. But I'm thinking about investigating hunting on national forest. I'm going to have to go to Texas Parks and Wildlife and question them about that stuff, or find a game warden to talk to. But another concern that I have, well, there's two other concerns I have about hunting, especially on national forest. One, you can't use bait, and I can kind of see why you don't want to use bait on national forest, but they say it's unethical, and I don't think this is true. Hunting with bait is no different than hunting with doe estrus, in my opinion. They both kind of do the same thing. They attract deer, and it seems kind of odd to me that you can allow doe estrus, but not like an apple coral or a little bit of corn. And the only thing I can really come up with is the reason why they don't allow bait on national forest is because they don't want people baiting up a certain area and then going up there on opening season and someone else being in that spot and then having people fight over that spot. But it really irritates me when people say that hunting with the bait is unethical. Because first off, ethics is an unwritten rule within society or within a person. It's not a law. And again, if you're going to question the ethics of hunting with bait, then I'm going to question the ethics of hunting with doe estrus. To me, it's kind of the same thing, except I don't have to put I generally don't have to put like corn or apple scent on me, and doe estrus you kind of have to put on your foot and stuff and smell it, which is not necessarily terrible. It's usually on your feet. It doesn't really come up to your nose as much, but I kind of like just eating an apple and throwing the core out there and standing or sitting in front of that. Um, Also, another reason why I want to hunt is because I've had this on my desk for a long time. I got this um, shortly after I got pushed off my lease. This is a Blackjack number 1.5. I also have a Blackjack number 1.7. It's modeled after the Randall Randall fighting knife. One of the big differences is that this is convex and it doesn't have a false edge. It has a swedge, so it doesn't cut on top. But I saw this knife on the internet and I was like, man, that would be an awesome hunting knife. And I haven't been able to review it because I haven't been able to put the blade on flesh. And I've EDC'd this knife. I've carried it in a gaming center, believe it or not. If you don't know what a gaming center is, it's a casino. But what differentiates it from a casino is that all the games are digital. The games Blackjack is digital, poker is digital, roulette is digital, and a casino actually has mechanical games or analog games like poker, blackjack, roulette, um, slots. They're not digital, but in a gaming center they're all digital. But you can win money. And I actually carried this on my side, not kind of in plain sight, in a gaming center when they didn't kick me out. Uh, but I also carried this at school, working. I'm a groundskeeper at a school, and I've carried this while doing my job, and it's perfectly legal in my state. But I've used this several times for different tasks, and it probably needs to be sharpened, but I just can't make myself review it without putting it to flesh, without actually skinning with it. And I'd like to be able to review this in the near future. Um, Something that I really like or appreciate in hunting is getting to see the animals and get to experience their life for a moment. There's been several times where I'd have a group of does out, and obviously it wasn't a big buck, but I'd have a group of does out, and you just get to see the does interact with each other. I seen one doe just raise up his paw and smack the other. I'm a younger doe in the head, and I just enjoy watching them. And usually when I'm watching does, I'm like, hey, there's plenty of does out here. I'll wait until the end of doe season before I shoot one, and I'll see if anything bigger comes out. And then at the end of doe season, they disappear on me. But I also like being close quarters with the animal that I'm hunting. Uh, you know, I like to be able to see the breath and everything on them if it's cold outside, which is weird because when I'm hunting, I like to be close to the animal. Not necessarily for accuracy's sake or anything. I just like that connection with them. But when I'm watching hunting on TV, I hate watching hunting shows where they hunt whitetail and they're just sitting in the stand the whole time and then they just shoot a deer. When I watch hunting shows on the internet or on TV, I like watching caribou, moose, elk, African game, ibex. I like watching the stuff where you actually have to spot and stalk it, or shoot it from just spot and stalk. I like watching spot and stalk on TV, but when I'm hunting myself, I like to kind of be in a little bush or being in a stand and just kind of absorb and watch nature wake up and interact with each other. Um, and so, yeah, I'm just really missing hunting. I don't have a deer rifle at the moment. I traded my deer rifle for another gun because I wasn't hunting. All I have now that I can really hunt with is my longbow, my crossbow, my Smith and Wesson, and my Glock 20, which I have to get a lot more accurate with my Glock 20, and I'd have to get significantly, well, not significantly, I'm relatively accurate with my Smith & Wesson, um, for close range stuff. But my Sega AK is probably the closest thing that I have to a deer rifle. My Sega AK, they call it the Sporting AK. It has no pistol grip, no collapsible stock, no bayonet lug, no flash idle. And I prefer it that way. I'd love to have a bayonet lug on it, but I prefer the non tactical aspect of it. It feels more comfortable to shoot with a traditional rifle grip than having the pistol grip. I'm sure that's just something I'd have to get used to. But I've shot a more traditional AK, and I've shot this AK, and I kind of prefer my PC sporting AK over the traditional AK. Um, but like Lynn Thompson posted some pictures of like a hippo he shot with this big bore revolver, and I was like, man, I'd love to do that, but I'd have to get better. I'd have to work on my marksmanship, and I'd have to, get a better job. And they liked that, but yeah, I just like to hunt, and it's too late for this year, obviously, but I'm thinking maybe next year I might try to go on national forest. Another challenge about hunting is that I don't have a side by side or a golf cart. Um, my dad has a side by side, and my Jeep will technically pull it. It just doesn't pull it very well. But I can't really go deep into the woods and shoot something and then drag it all the way back to the vehicle. I'd have to be able to drive a good distance close to the kill site before I can, you know, think about killing an animal, because I'm not really good at dragging a deer. My health doesn't really allow me to exert myself for long periods of time. I think they have some kind of harness you can wear that you hook up to the deer, and it's like a little vest, and you can walk and pull the deer. And, it's supposed to be easier than dragging it by hand. I attempted to make my own out of rope, and it didn't work out too well. But I really would like to get back into hunting whitetail. I can't remember if I said this or not. I'm not. I don't mind killing hogs because they're invasive and they don't belong here. Uh, but I don't really like eating wild boar. I mean, I will, but it's not a preference of mine. Um, or wild hog. It doesn't have to be a boar, but usually wild hogs I kind of try to stay away from as far as eating them. Um, it's a personal thing. I know it's technically safe and everything, but to me it's not ideal. Um, but I've done it in the past, and it's not terrible. It's just not a preference of mine. Um, but I'd love an excuse to get back into the woods. I can't camp anymore. I can't backpack anymore. I'd love to have an excuse to get in the woods and enjoy it. And I guess that's something that I miss. And I'd like to review this. There was a couple of hunting guns I'd like to buy and review and shoot and enjoy. Heck, I wouldn't mind just squirrel hunting if I had a place to do that. I've never eaten squirrel, but I'd like to try it. I wouldn't mind trying rabbit again. My last experience with rabbit was not positive. That's probably for another story time. Um, but I miss hunting, and uh, I'm awake, so I thought I'd talk about it. So that's it. I'm a Saucy 5, and I'm out.